Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are starting a new tutorial series on the Threader clone UI with Flutter. In this first part, we will cover the login screen, the sign up screen, and the feed screen. If you're interested and happy to see this build, consider subscribing, like, and share the video as well. So with that said, let's jump right in. In my main.dat file, I've created a login screen widget, which is found within the screen folder over here, and it's returning a scaffold, right? So within that, let's start with the safe area to prevent it from being at the notch area. So the child of the safe area is going to be a column, and the column intent takes in the children, where you can specify a list of widgets over here. So in here, our first widget is going to be the image, right? And it's going to be from our assets folder. So image.assets, then we pass in the path, and that's assets slash, and the name of the logo, the image is thread logo.png, right? So when you save in the changes, you can see it's over there. So let's reduce the size a bit. So let's provide a width value. Let's set the width to 8. There you go. So let's wrap the image within a widget, the center widget, to place it at the center. And also let's set the main axis alignment of the column to be main axis alignment of center. As you can see, the effect. So below the logo is going to be a text form field, right? That's going to be the input field. And the text in the controller. So you'll be accepting the user email controller, right? For now, it's not yet created, so I'll be creating the email controller variable. So final email controller is going to be of type text editing controller. So let's decorate the text form field, right? So with the decoration argument, you can pass in an input decoration. Let's set the content padding to be edge insert.all and pass in a value of 8, right? And also let's provide it a hint text, right? It's more or less like a placeholder. Going to accept a text of enter your email, as you can see over there. Let's proceed to set the border of the input field, right? Let's give it an outline input border, so we can have that rounded shape around the input. There you go. And let's wrap the text form field within a padding, right? And this padding is only going to affect the top size, a value of 20. So you can see it push a little bit. And let's wrap the whole of the column within a padding as well. And it's going to affect all size, a value of 20. So within the outline input border, let's provide the border side, right? Which takes in the border side widget. So within the border side, we can pass in the color, and let's set the color to gray color. So the way we do that is colors.gray, as you can see right there. So let's also provide a focus border, right? When the input is focused, that's going to be similar to the outline input border, right? So we provide that. So in here we need one more text field for the password, right? So I'll copy from the padding and repeat the same thing for the password. So here we need to change the controller to the password controller, right? So I'll create another variable over here. That's going to be password controller. So I need to pass that password controller to the controller, and also change the hint text to enter your password. As you can see, the effect over there. So below the input is going to be the forget password button, right? So this is the trick. Let's start with a row and provide it a children, right? So with the children, let's provide it a test widget. Sorry, a test button, which has an on press. That's going to be the function that gets called when the button is pressed. So with a test, let's assign it a value of forget password. So in here, we set the main axis alignment to be main axis alignment dot end, and that will push the test button to the very end, as you can see over there. So let's start the test button by changing the color, right? So with the star property, you can assign it a text style and provide the color. So the color is going to be black, so we assign colors.black. There we go. So below that, we are going to have a button, right? That's the login button. So below the button, let's start with the elevated button. It takes in the on press function and also the child, and the child is split a widget, and we are going to provide it a test widget. So let's provide a test of login, right? Oh, my bad. It's actually supposed to be below the row. There we go. So let's wrap the elevator button within a sized box, right? So with the sized box, let's provide a width to the sized box. Let's set a width to double.infinity. And also let's provide a height of 42. There you go. So let's start the button by changing the background color, right? So with the star property, we use elevator button.star from, then we pass in our background color. We are going to set our background color to be colors.black. There we go. It's looking pretty much good. So below the button, we are going to have a row, right? That's going to contain two tests. So it's basically we are going to give the user alternative if the user don't have an account yet, right? Since we are designing the login screen, if the user don't have an account yet, we are going to provide an information don't have an account yet, right? And also provide a button that will link to the sign up page for user to create a new account, right? So that's basically the idea over here. There we go. And we need to push this row to the very end. So let's add divide over there and also add a spacer. That will push it at the very end. Okay, you can see let's provide a space at the very beginning of the center. There we go. You can see it works perfectly. So the main axis alignment of this row is going to be main axis alignment of center, and that will center it. Right. So let's start the test of the sign up. So with the star property, you can assign the test style and provide it. It's already black. Let's actually bolden the sign up, right, by providing it a font weight. So in here, we set the font weight to be bold, right? You can see the effect. And let's change the text to text button so it can be clickable. That way you can navigate to the sign up page, right? So with the text button, testing the on press, and that's basically the function that's going to get called when the button is pressed, and also the child. And the child is going to be the text. So let's get rid of the cons over here. So let's assign it a child. And the child is going to be the text. There you go. So here we need to change the color of the text as well. So let's set the color to black. So it's going to be colors.black. There you go. I think we are pretty much done with the login screen, right? So when a sign up button is pressed, we need to navigate to the sign up screen, right? So the way we do that, we use the navigator dot push, and it takes in the context and also the route. And the route is going to be material page route that takes in the builder, and the builder is basically a function that takes in the context, right? And we're going to navigate to the sign up screen, right? So we need to provide this screen we are going to navigate to. So I'll pass in the sign up screen, which is not yet created, so I'll be creating it sooner. So within the screen folder, I'll create a file. I'm going to name this file as a signup.dat. And it's pretty much going to be the same as the login screen, right? So in here, we need to provide additional two text field to handle the user name and also the user full name, right? So I'll copy that and paste it, changing in the name of the widget to sign up screen. And also we need to change this to login screen, right? Since we are in the sign up screen, the alternative is already have an account. If you're already having an account, you'll be navigating to the login screen. So I'll change in the text over here. And that's going to be already have an account. If you already have an account, then the text is also going to change as well to the login. So I think we need to copy one more text form field, right, and paste it within here. So let's import the sign up screen to get rid of the errors. Let's save any changes. There we go. So you can see when you navigate, you are seeing the same thing over here. There we go. You can see the navigation works. So with this text form field, we need to pass in. We're actually going to get the user's full name, right? So the hint text is going to change, and also we need to change the controller. So let's copy an additional one more field. That's going to be for the username. So with the username, you need to change the hint text as well to enter your username. There you go. So you need to create two more additional, let's get rid of the forget password and also wrap the sizer box within a padding. And this padding is only going to affect the top side, a value of 20. Perfect. As you can see over here, so everything is working perfectly. So you need to create two additional text editing controller, and that's one is going to be for the name controller, that's the full name, and also the other is going to be for the username controller, right? So we need to pass that to the controller as well. So with the full name controller, we're passing the name controller, and here too we need to pass in the username controller. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, you can see, don't have an account, you can sign up, and if you already have an account, you can also log in, right? Oh, one more thing, you need to change the text of the button to sign up within the sign up screen, right? So let's do that. There you go. I think that's pretty much it. So within the screen folder, I'll be creating a file, and I'm going to name this file as the home.dat. So the home is going to contain our tab bar, right? That's where you can specify our feed screen, our profile, favorites, and all those stuff, right? So within the press of the login, right, we'll be navigating to the home, right? So navigator.push, that is in the context, and we're going to pass in the material page route, and the material page route is in the builder, right? And the builder is basically a function that is in the context, and it will be returning a screen, right? And the screen, you are going to provide it the home screen. So that's it. So let's save in the changes over here. So the login, for now we're not handling validation, we'll be doing it later, right? So I'll just go with it. And also provide a sample password. So login, you can see we've been navigated to the home screen, right? So for now, it's returning a scaffold. So let's start. So the body of this scaffold is going to be based on pages, right? We are going to have a list of pages. And that list of pages is going to be of type widget. It's going to be an array. And basically the body of this home is going to return a pages, right? And the page is going to be based on a particular index, right? So I'll create an index variable at the top there. And it's going to be of type int. And I'm going to create a variable known as the selected index and initially assign it a value of 0, right? So the body is going to access in pages of our selected index, right? For now we are having error that will be fixed later. So below the body, the scaffold takes in the bottom navigation bar. That takes in the bottom navigation bar widget, right? So within the bottom navigation bar widget takes in the items. So with the items, it takes in the bottom navigation bar item, right? That takes in the icon. So with the icon, the first icon is going to be icons.home. It also requires a label, right? So we need to provide a label today as well. And the label is going to be home. So I need to copy and repeat this I think 4 more times, right? Changing in the icon in the label. So first of all, let's set the current index of this bottom navigation bar to be our selected index. That's going to be the first screen, right? And also the pages, for now, let's assign a text variable to hold the widget. So it's found at the notch area. So let's wrap this within a center to actually see it, right? So when saving the change, you can see the data over here. And this page is going to be our home, right? And the next one is going to be our feed screen. Here also is going to be our post screen, our favorite, and finally our profile, right? We are not seeing the bottom navigation bar, right? So let's set the selected item color of the bottom navigation bar to be black. That's when it's active, right? And also let's set on selected item color to be gray. There you guys, you can see over there, right? So here let's assign the false to the show label, show selected label, right? You don't want the label to be shown. And let's change the name of the icon and also the label as well. So for the second one, it's going to be the search icon, and the label is going to be search. And the third one is going to be the add icon. That's going to represent the post. The fourth one is going to be the favorite icon. And lastly, we are going to have the person icon. That's going to represent the profile. Saving the changes. There we go. You can see. For now, it doesn't change from its active state, right? So it takes in the on tab, right? And that takes in the index. So in here, we'll be setting our state over here. We'll be assigning our index to the selected index variable we just created, right? So that way we have it switching between the screens. And also let's set the bottom navigation bar, the type of this bottom navigation bar to be bottom navigation bar type dot fixed. There we go. Yeah, still not seeing the effect. Okay, we need to actually move this upwards within the state of the home. There we go. Let's save in the changes. There we go. You can see our pages are being navigated based on the selected index, right? So let's actually wrap the test within a center widget so we can actually see its implementation, right? So I'll wrap the test within a center widget. So you can see the pages changing accordingly, right? The favorite screen, the post screen, the set screen, and also the feed screen. So I'll be creating a widget for each of these pages, right? It will remain the test, right? I actually did a mistake. The first one is going to be our feed screen, and the second one is going to be the set screen, the post, the favorite, and lastly the profile. There you go. So let's save in the changes. So this is going to be our feed, our search, post, favorite, and profile. So let's start to create the widget for each of these pages, right? So within the screen folder, I'll be creating a file, and this file is going to be our feed.dat, and that's going to represent our feed screen, right? So I'll be creating a stateful widget over here, and I'll name this as the feed screen, right? It will be return the scaffold, right? So for now, the body of this scaffold is going to return a center widget with a test of feed screen. There you go. So in here we need to save in the changes, right? So I just grab my feed screen over here. So within the home.dat, the first one is going to represent our feed screen. So we need to import that as well. As you can see the effect. So we'll be doing the same for the set screen. So within the screen folder, I'll be creating a file, and this file is going to be called the search. So it's going to be called a search.dat. And that's going to be our search screen, right? So the name is going to be the search screen. So we're returning a scaffold, right? And the body of this scaffold is going to take in a test that has been centered. So within the home, the second widget is going to be our search screen. So let's import that. So we'll be doing something similar to the post, the favorite, and also the profile, right? So the next file is going to be our post screen, and it's going to be a stateful widget as well. So the name is going to be our post screen, and we'll be returning a scaffold. And the scaffold, the body of the scaffold is going to take in a text that has been centered. Yeah. So the center widget, passing the child in the text. So let's proceed to create another file for the favorite screen. And lastly, let's create the profile screen page. So it's going to be the stateful widget as well. And the name is going to be the profile screen. And it will be returning a scaffold, right? So the scaffold will be having the body with a text that has been centered, right? So the text is going to be the profile screen. There you go. So within the pages, right, we need to replace the widget with the screen respectively. So the third one is going to be our post screen. The fourth one is going to be our favorite screen. And lastly, our profile screen. Make sure you import that. Our profile screen. There you go. Let's save in the changes. So you can see when I click on each tab, the pages reflect accordingly, right? So you can see the free screen. So let's move into this free screen, right, and start building it from scratch. So I'll get rid of the cent over here and return the safe area, and that will prevent it from being at the notch area at the very top. So the chart of the safe area is going to be a single chart scroll view, right? We want this list of posts to be scrollable. So here we'll be returning the column. So within the children of the column, the first chart of the column is going to be a row. So you're going to have a row within the column, right? So the row of this, first of all, let's start with the avatar, right? So we are going to access our image from the asset folder, right? So image.asset, then we pass in the path, and that's going to be from our assets, and the name is the profile.png. So let's get rid of the cons in here. There you go. So let's reduce the image a bit, right, by providing it a width. So let's set a width to 45. I think this looks good. So let's wrap the column within a padding widget, right? And this padding is going to affect all sides, a value of 20, so we can have enough space around it. So next to the image, right, since it's in a row, next to the image is going to be a sizer box with a width. We want to have enough space, right? So below the sizer box is going to be an expanded widget, right? That will take the available space. So the chart of this expanded widget is going to be a column. As usual, the column is going to take in the children as well. So don't forget, we are still working within the row, right? So everything we'll be doing will be within the row, right, next to the image. So the column, within the column, we're also going to have a row, and this row is going to also take in the children, right? And we're going to have a test over here that's going to show the username, right? So I'll provide it a manual name of John Doe, right? So let's start the name as well, right? Let's bold in the text. So let's provide it a font weight of bold. There we go. And let's set a cross axis alignment of the column to be cross axis alignment dot start. So let's do the same for the row over here. So let's set the axis alignment to be start. So next to the button is going to be the time, right? So we provide a spacer widget to push it to the very end, right? So below that, we are going to have another text displaying the time of the post, yeah. So you can see it over there. So next to the time is going to be a text button that's going to contain an icon widget. Sorry, it's going to be an icon button, right? So with the icon button, text in the on press and also the icon. So the icon is going to be the more horizontal. That's the three dotted line. So we need to be outside of this row, right, and provide another column. And this column is going to contain the message and also the reaction to the user's message, right? So let's set a cross axis alignment to be at the start, right? So the children of this column, the first one is going to be the text, and this text is going to contain the message. So I'll give it a message, right? Hi everyone, how are you? How are you all? Right, so that's so below the text is going to be a row, and this row is going to contain our icons, right? So it's basically going to be an icon button, right? So with the icon button, we have an on press that makes the icon clickable. So the icon, we provide it an icon data, right? So with the icon, testing the icons dot. So we need to be within the icon So icon dot favorite outline. So let's get rid of the cons in here. As you can see, the icon over there. So we need 3 of these icons, right? So I'll be copying that and repeat it 3 more times. There you go. So for the second one, the icon is going to change to be the comment icon, right? The name is comment underscore outline. It's going to be mode underscore comment underscore outline. That's the icon we want. So the third one is not going to be an icon anymore. It's going to be an image from our asset folder, right? Since it's a custom icon. So it's going to be from our asset folder, and the name is going to be the retweet icon. Sorry, the retweet image. The extension is .png. Let's save in the changes as you can see over here. So let's reduce the size a bit, right? So let's set a width of 25. It's looking pretty much good. And it's going to be the same for the last icon. That's going to be the send icon. So the name is going to be the send. There we go. I think that's pretty much it. It's looking quite cool. So below this, we are going to provide a divider, as you can see over there. So let's actually extract this as a widget, right? So we'll be having a list of posts over here. So if you extract this as a widget, you can have a list of posts. So I'll just extract widget. So I'll rename this widget to be thread message. And saving the changes. There we go. You can see we've extracted this as a widget. So the divider needs to be within the thread message, right? That separates the post. So within the thread message, which is a stateless widget, right? I'll wrap the row within the column. So below the row, then we proceed to provide the divider widget. Let's save in the changes. There we go. So within the column over here, you can just return multiple of these thread messages, and you can see the effects over there, right? So that's basically it. The next tutorial will be covering the set screen and also model the entity for these thread messages, right? So see you there.